Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to the Medium's Table. I'm your host, Michelle Gardner. This podcast is your personal invitation to join me at the intersection of the everyday and the extraordinary. Together, we'll explore the magic of mediumship, share spiritual stories, and connect with fellow mediums on this incredible journey. So grab a seat, pour yourself a cuppa, and come join us at the Medium's Table, where spirits gather and stories unfold. Disclaimer, just a heads up to all our lovely followers. Our social media is a space where we share personal stories, including those of various mediums. Let's keep the vibe positive and respect each other's beliefs. Every journey is unique, and here we celebrate the diversity of experiences. I'd like to welcome back to the show, Brooke and Alicia. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle.
Now, I normally have you two on here separate, so the world probably hasn't cottoned on to the fact that you are together. So this will be interesting, and I am curious, and I don't know why every time I say, I can't wait to interview you guys, and I have a little snicker to myself, and I don't know why, but I know it's going to be interesting. Sorry, that was my evil laugh. Sorry. So we'll see what happens. I know it's going to be fun. It's always fun when I'm interviewing you guys. So why don't we start with what you guys do? So if anyone's watching this for the first time and they don't know who you are, they can get an idea of exactly what it is that you do. And let's start with, well, Brooke's on the top there. So let's start with Brooke.
Okay. I am a modern day shaman. I do psychic healings. I do energy work. I do paranormal investigations and removals. Play around with the weather a little bit. That's pretty much it.
Nice. And when you say removals, I'm assuming that's not, you don't do furniture removals. That would be spiritual.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And Brooke, I've interviewed you quite a few times, so I will put your previous episodes into the description below. Alicia.
Hi, Michelle. Oh, what is it that I do? I do a little bit of everything. Anyhow, I am an evidential medium. I'm a trance medium. I do healing, all kinds of stuff. And my biggest claim to fame is I've always followed synchronicity. And it's led me to really some amazing places.
Places and people. Just going to say that. But yes, you do a little bit of everything, and you have some amazing stories that you have shared with us across the time of this podcast, the entirety of this podcast. You've dotted yourself through there, and I mean some amazing stories where I just think this is a living human that is like a cat with 9 lives. Anyway, so and I mean incredible. And if you haven't seen both of their episodes, go back and watch them. Again, I will put all the episodes. And I know, Alicia, your list is long. There's episode this. It's like, I'm having trouble keeping up these days. So,
isn't it crazy, Michelle? It's been, I saw a year that you've been doing this and that I was on. And wow.
Yeah, I know. And that's another year under our belt that we know each other and never met in person. It's going to happen. I swear it's happening one day. I'm putting it out there to the universe. Come on now, bring us together in person. And and here we are still kicking on strong. I love it. Absolutely love it. And there's still so much to talk about.
Right?
Anyway, and without further ado, let's get to that topic today. Who wants to start first with what we're actually going to talk about? Silence.
Well, I guess we'll talk about how we became a couple.
Yay! I love a good love story. Oh my gosh, take it away. No pressure.
No pressure. So, go ahead, Brooke.
No, you go ahead. You have a much lengthier version of this than I do.
Yes, as always. This is our world. Yeah, I'll start from the very beginning. And I was traveling. I would travel between, I would winter in Phoenix and summer in Vermont. And I called it the eternal summer because I never saw winter. And I was quite happy with that. But I was also growing tired of traveling back and forth. And I had come back in the summer of 2015, and I was just having a grand old time the past like 3, 4 years. As my friend called it, it was a revolving door of dating. I was coming in from one date in the front door and leaving out the back door. And she goes, "Sometime you're going to get caught." And I said, no, I'm having a good time. And I was just really enjoying life. And one of those people in the late, it would have been November of 2015, I had met this man, and it became a terrifying stalker situation. So, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And needless to say, I was due to go back to Phoenix that beginning of December. And I couldn't because of this other situation and court cases and things. So I had to stay. My friend Michelle, she said, "You've got to come down to my food truck. There's this man that comes here, and his name's Skunk. And you've got to meet this man named Skunk because I see you in his eyes, and he in your eyes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she had this food truck in this parking lot that was adjacent to where he would play in a pool league. So she says, he'll be here on Monday. You need to get here. You need to get here. Well, I appeased her. And of course, I said yes. And well, of course, I had nope, nope, nope. I'm not going. I don't need another man. I don't need problems. I just want to try to get the hell out of here and go back to Phoenix for the winter.
And why have a
And
guy named Skunk?
Exactly. That doesn't tell you.
What kind of guy would your friend want to introduce you to named Skunk? He must be a real stinker.
Yeah. It leaves so many questions unanswered right there with one word.
So many. So I said, no. And I called her the next day and I said, "I'm not going to make it. I'm sorry, can't make it. It's going to be another 2 weeks until he's here." And I said, "Well, another 2 weeks, they can wait." So the following Monday, I was serving a spiritualist service in the small town, and it's where he would be playing pool. But he wasn't going to be there, right? 2 weeks. This is the following Monday. So I had served the church, and my friend couldn't come to church because she was running her food truck. So I thought, heck, what the heck? I'll go over there and I'll say hello to her. So I go over there. I get in the food truck. "Oh, hi, Michelle. Oh, hi, hi." And she goes, "Here he comes. Here he comes. Skunk's coming. Skunk's coming." And I look out and now I'm all dressed to the nines. I have my fake eyelashes on, my high heels. Of course, I had just gotten done serving the church, and it's what I wore back in the day. So here I am, and I go up to the window, and she said, "Here, meet Skunk. Skunk, this is my friend Alicia." And I go, "Hi." And he's just,
Yeah,
"Hi."
hi.
And I'm like, "Okay." And I said, "Hi, what do you do for like a living?" "I steam
I steam
barrels."
barrels.
You what? Steam
I
barrels.
steam barrels. I steam clean barrels.
Okay. All right.
And I went,
Pretty intriguing, huh?
You got me wondering.
and I go, hmm. And then I said, and he's not asking any questions. He's just answering my questions. And I looked at him, and being who I am, Michelle, I go, I hear you do healing. My friend says you do healing. Yep.
I
said,
do my own kind of healing.
That was his answer. I do my own kind. And I go, wow. So my friend hands him his sandwich, and he goes, I said, well, goodbye. And he goes, bye. And he turns around. And goes to walk off. And I said, nice meeting you. Yep, he waves. Yep. So I was like, okay, that's great. There was nothing there. So my friend Michelle, I will never forget it, is standing there with a spatula, and she's going, can't you see it? And I go, see what? The love. I saw the love between you two. And I'm like, no. I go, hell no. There's no love. Hell no. No, I saw it. I really saw it. And I go, I understand, Michelle, that you want me to stay here, and that maybe a man will make me stay here, but no, this isn't happening.
Not this one.
No. No. So I go home, Michelle, and next day I get a text from Michelle. Yeah, gotta look and at his Facebook, and you gotta see what he's written, and it's all about you. Yes, it's your kind of poetry. And I'm like, okay. So I know she's not gonna let me go without doing something. So I go on to the Facebook thing, and it's not going to allow me to read his poetry, right? It's saying I have to friend him because I'm doing it from my phone, right? So I said, Michelle, I can't do this. I can't read his poetry. I have to friend him. Well, friend him. I'm like, okay. And I would do anything to appease this woman. Ask Brooke, because she would have been on my patootie for the rest of my life. So I hit friend request. I didn't expect him to, answer my friend request. Well, he does. Did I ever read his poetry? No. No. And I just let it ride, right? And so what was it, Brooke? Maybe 3 weeks later, I saw he started interacting with my posts. And
you had started writing about going hiking and everything, and I was huge into hiking, and oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Oh, the old teaser, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. And I'm like, so I remember sitting in a restaurant with two of my friends, a husband and wife, and I said, look, I don't know. He's liking this. What do you think? Darce grabs my phone and she goes, oh my, I think he might like you. So her husband, Brian, pulls the phone over and goes, oh my God, is he into trains or anything crazy? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, watch out for those crazies, because I had just been through that whole stalking thing, right? And I said, oh yeah, that's very true, very true. And I'm gonna
now wait a minute. Did Brian make a comment about my name being Skunk?
Yeah, and because he said he's got the name Skunk, and that was the whole questioning. Are we on the crazy train again? You seem to, Alicia, attract the highest nutters on the tree here. And here we are again. And I'm like, Oh God, right, Brian, that could be. And Darcy's going, I don't think so. He may be very nice, you know. And so it wasn't even, I'm gonna say, from that comment on that post, because I said I wanted to go hiking and do the Grand Canyon
There's Mount
and
Zion.
Mount Zion National Park in Utah. And he said, I won't go with, and I was looking for people to go with me. And he goes, I will not do the Grand Canyon. However, Zion, I would do. And I'm like, huh. And that was the whole thing with Brian and Darcy that night. And it was maybe what, a day, 2 days later, he messages me, how would you like to meet me at that pool hall again?
Oh,
Mm,
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it was a trap, and I got caught in
it. In your own trap.
The skunk trap. Yep, trap. I got it.
He got it. And it was so funny, Michelle, because I said to my friend, well, I'm willing to go meet him. He seems like a halfway decent guy. And I said, I've got my stilettos on. I got my skirt on. And she goes, oh, God, no. Take it off. What? And she goes, just wear regular shoes. And I go, why? And she goes, because they're going to think when you walk in, they're going to ask you where the pole is because you look like a stripper to them. And I'm like,
because it's a pool hall.
Of course. Of course.
And you don't want to be mistaken for the entertainment.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, but she had everybody's eye that night. Yeah, when she walked in, the whole pool hall just turned their heads and wow.
Wow. I can imagine that too. That wouldn't surprise me. Probably still happens, but she just doesn't tell me. Oh. But the most important thing was she was there for you.
She was. Yep.
Mm.
And Brooke can now pick up this part of the story because he seems to have a different recollection of that night's events.
Do tell.
Well, only the ending of that night's events.
Do I have to rate this show or like?
No. So I shot my matches and, we talked and everything. And, she said that she had played pool a little bit and actually wasn't saying how great of a pool player she was, like the cornhole champion that she is.
The what?
Cornhole champion.
What's that?
Cornhole's a different game. You have it's like horseshoes with bean bags.
Oh, okay, right, yep, okay.
So she has claimed to be the cornhole champion.
Oh,
we haven't seen that yet.
Okay, that's for another episode.
That's another episode. So I play my games. We're talking. We go out. We're closing down the place. Everybody's leaving, and so she walks me and my friend to my car because I'm giving him a ride home. And I go to give her a hug goodnight, and she wraps her arms around my neck and pulls and wraps her legs around my waist, grabs and pulls my ponytail. She's like, yeehaw! Now, my buddy in the car, he's just sitting there going, will you two just get a room?
Oh, no, backwards and coming forwards.
Yeah. So she climbs down the monkey pole and, okay, we'll say goodnight. And she goes off to Michelle's food truck, and I get in the car with my buddy Mike. And so she goes into Michelle's food truck, and she says to Michelle, "Oh, I had a really good time. We're going to be such great friends."
That's how she greets all the friends or says goodbye. I'm not sure.
I guess so. I don't know.
Oh.
So she gets done talking to Michelle, and she gets out of the food truck and comes walking around. And my buddy Mike and I are sitting there in the car out in front of the food truck, and I'm like, "You forgot to give me your phone number." Almost like she didn't want me to have her phone number.
Elusive.
So what's your rebuttal on that, Alicia?
I don't remember. Well, I do remember climbing.
You remember the ponytails?
I do not remember grabbing his ponytail and going, "Yee-haw!" I do remember, however, climbing up him like he was a pole. I do remember that.
Now, can I ask, was there any intoxication involved, or were you just...
Only my buddy Mikey, who was in the car.
Right. Well, that does make it a little bit more interesting then, doesn't it?
So no. Brooke and I had zilch, alcohol or any other form of happiness, Yeah. So, yeah. And so...
Naturally intoxicated.
Yeah. It was a very interesting evening. Yeah. And we were going to be good friends. I knew it. I said to Michelle, we're going to be the best friends ever. We are just going to have such a good friendship. And she's like, "Oh,
I knew it. I could see it in his eyes."
and so after that, the next day, he had called me, and he said, I lived in Vermont at that time, and he was in New Hampshire, and his father and stepmother lived right across the river from where I was staying. So what would you say? It's a 10-minute drive from your father's house to
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm going over there to install a heater. How about you come over and meet me?" And I thought, okay. So I get over there, and my God, I'm meeting his stepmother, the nieces, the nephews, and I'm going, oh God, this is a little much for me. This is okay. But then he takes me out to this wonderful, nice little gluten-free lunch at the little pizzeria in town. And we had a really
gluten-free lunch is called a salad.
That's what it was at the pizza place. And we had a really good time. So went home, and he said, well, that would have been like Tuesday. So he said, what are you doing on Thursday? And I said, well, I'm coming to Keene, actually, because I was teaching a mediumship class. This is back in 2015. I said...
2016.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it would have been January then. Yeah, it's 2016. So we ended up, he said, how about I meet you after and we get something to eat? I said, okay. So we go out to this little pub-like thing, and I had a soup and he had something, and we come out. Now, remember, we're just good friends, right? So he lays one on me, Michelle.
Oh,
That's a good friend for you.
Yeah, as friends do.
As friends do.
Close friends.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have close friends like that.
Too bad you need to get some, Michelle. You really need to get some.
Yeah, my husband will love that.
I'm sure he would. But it was interesting because after he kissed me, I said, that's it. I knew then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this man. I want to be with this man. And then I was then coined his clingy carrot because I did not leave him. Yeah, it was like, oh, you're
A
mine.
third appendage.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it was really that, yeah, it, yeah. But we
It
were
just
going to be good
happened.
friends.
Yeah, it just happened just like that. There was no questioning it. It just transpired.
Yeah. And I mean, look, really, do you think maybe there was a little clue there with the fact that so quickly you got to meet his family? I mean, that's like, to me, that's an instant, okay, where is this going? You
I
got
don't know.
No. You see, if she can survive my family, then she's a keeper.
Oh, it was a test.
So I was cutting right to the chase. It isn't about me and her. It's about handling my family. If she can handle my family, then she's good.
Yes. Okay. So all these little tests along the way. And
Always.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
Okay. Right. But so during that, so what was the time frame from when you were at the pool hall and
grabbing my ponytail?
Yeah, you rode him like a bucking bull. To this point in time where he laid one on you. What was the time frame then? What, a week, couple of days?
2 weeks.
Yep.
Wow.
2 weeks.
Yep. 2 weeks. And you knew then that that's it. This is it. It's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
And it for me, it was the most odd feeling because it was like all of a sudden it was like, I knew it.
Yeah.
The friends are gone now. It's like, yeah, it just totally changed that kiss. It was like, yeah, that's that.
And
done and dusted.
Yeah. All right. Yes, that's it. Now moving along. Next, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
Yeah, it was a really interesting time. And again, Michelle, in my life, I was having a good time and I was hoping eventually to meet someone. But like I'm dating men like, oh yeah, in the morning, literally in the morning, I'd be going out to breakfast with someone and somebody new in the afternoon. And saying and being honest with them, nope, this isn't going to work. Nope, this isn't going to work. And it wasn't like I was on a dating website. These were real men meeting me and asking me out. And I would go out. I'd be more
stalkers.
Well, no, there was only one of those. That was it. There was one of those, But yeah.
So I'm going to ask this question, and I know we have discussed this, but for the sake of the purpose behind why we're here today, why do you think that these people were attracted to you like this? Like you were dating, searching. We have this is a little test too. I think hopefully you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it was all gearing up for my meeting Brooke, because there were and this is the meat and potatoes of it. And I think this is what your viewers really need to hear. When you are meant to meet someone for your highest and best good, spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to grow your spiritual life, so to speak, it will happen, but it will only happen when the timing is right and lessons have been learned. So all these men and even women that I had stayed with all had very, very, very a lot in common to what Brooke's personality would be, you see. So it was almost like a preparation, And what happened from that, Michelle, is when I met him, and all my friends were freaking out because I had just been through a horror story, a literal living horror story. And they were like so protective. Who is this man? Where did, And it ended up, Michelle, that we, over the course of a few years, about 10 years, had just missed each other and meeting. It was the most interesting thing ever. So, were they truly missed, or it wasn't meant to be yet at that point in time?
Yeah, it was just timing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's almost like you come to so close, but they're not quite ready yet. And then it always comes back. People think, they always talk about missed opportunity. Oh, that's it. It's gone now. It's never gone. It'll always come back. If it's meant to be, it'll always come back.
Yeah, because if we look back on the people that we know in common, it's I mean there are probably 15 different scenarios that we could have met.
Wow.
And we never did.
So here is a huge one, Michelle. So I was living with Sharon in my summers, right, in Vermont, she and Trey. And she knew I was dating this guy named Brooke. And she's like, she's scared to death, like, who is he? And I go, this Brooke Adams. Oh, and one day I came home after being with him, and she goes, my God, you know who his ex-wife is. And I go, I know who. Now I don't. And she goes, yeah, remember, I forget how many years prior, and I go, maybe like 3 years prior, I had just come back from Phoenix, and she said, we're going to this party, to this lady's house. So we go to this party, and she had a nice home. I don't even remember meeting her exactly. I remember meeting a lot of other people, but not her in particular. I remember the house. I remember the swimming pool. I remembered all of it. I did not remember her. Her, when I got home, was Sharon saying to me, I know who he is. You were at his ex-wife's house. I go, who is this? And she goes, it was, I don't want to mention her name, of course, because that wouldn't be fair. And I went, oh my God, I was there. I don't remember meeting her. And she goes, that was his ex-wife.
Wow. And what do they say? 6 degrees of separation.
Oh, yeah. And it went on and on from that, Michelle. He would walk his dogs on this 10 through the town here.
Route town, around Route 10.
Yep. And what would happen was I would be driving my way from New Hampshire going to Delaware at least once a week.
Wow.
And she probably passed me. Who knows how many times, just walking down the side of the road with my dogs.
Wow. So for the viewers and listeners out there, you never know who you're passing on a daily or weekly basis that is going to end up the love of your life. You just don't know.
You don't know. And then one day we were driving along, Michelle, and I said to him, oh, I know the lady that used to live there. And he goes, well, that's this lady who, did this and this and this. And he goes, you were in that house. And I go, yeah. And I didn't remember the woman. I had no idea why I had been in that house because it had been years before. But I said, oh, she has like all these lights all over. And he goes, yeah, that's right. So
that happened to be the woman that introduced me to being a healer. She was the one that I was giving a massage to that said, you're moving more energy than half the people that practice. She was the one that got me started healing. She was the one that got me started doing paranormal removals.
Wow. Okay, for viewers and listeners, that is in his first episode. I will make note of that in the description. But yes, that's incredible. The interconnectedness, phenomenal.
Yeah, and not only that, but Michelle, I years ago I had been dating this gentleman. Actually, we were in a pretty serious relationship, and it was coming to an end. Things come, to an end, and it was never meant to be. And all of a sudden, this man who had black hair and it was shorter is wearing it back in a ponytail. And I'm like, yeah. And it was odd. I'm like, this is odd. And next thing I know, he's giving me massages. He says, I'm going to be a massage therapist. And I'm like, all right. Okay, this is a little odd for you, but and it was like it was odd, Michelle. But then when I met Brooke, I'm like, and this man was very psychically connected, which was interesting. And I truly believe he was trying to be a future of Brooke that he knew I was going to meet. And if I fit that bill, I'd stay with him. That didn't happen. But I didn't put two and two together until I'm sitting there with Brooke and I'm like, and didn't you have a shark's tooth too?
Yes.
Yeah, because that gentleman said, if you would really love me if I had a shark's tooth hanging around my neck, that's the type of man you're looking for. And I'm like, what is this all about? And I ended up, of course, we did part ways, but then I'm meeting Brooke and I'm like, oh my God, he has a shark's tooth. He has this. This man was trying to emulate him in hopes I would stay. Isn't that odd? But
yeah. So this man
and so this man and I have never met.
Wow. So you think that this man was so psychically connected and linked that he could somehow foretell,
see into her future.
Yeah,
that I was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tried to change the course of action.
Correct. To
Wow.
manipulate it to him. And here's the other thing that was uncanny. This other man always went to this one junkyard and said, oh, and he knew this man, and he said, oh, I just want to own a junkyard. I wish I had all these car parts just in my front yard. Go ahead, Brooke, fill in the story with what you were doing about that time. You were buying and selling Jeep parts.
Oh,
that was when I was in Marlow. That's right, because you were driving down up Route 10. So where I was living at this time, I had my driveway probably had 10 to 13 vehicles that were parts vehicles. I was buying and selling parts on the internet.
Wow.
And I was hitting all of the area junkyards, and I had been to the junkyard that he had frequented, and we had never passed. We never crossed paths.
Yeah. Oh, that's freaky.
And here's the other one. So my good friend, Mary, she was just the sweetest soul ever. You would love her. She did the Spartan race, the big Spartan race, and she is actually classified as an ultra. She was that good. I think she finished 59th for the women's division.
Wow.
First time ever. Anyhow, she's fantastic. Anyhow, she, at that point in my life, she was worried about who I was seeing, right? And all of a sudden, she must have put two and two together. And she officiated his sister's wedding. And Brooks was at that wedding and knew who Mary was.
Oh, you're kidding.
And Mary lived up the road from my father's, and she would go running by my father's house. So everybody from my father's family knew of Mary. And Alicia was a very good friend of Mary.
Wow. Oh, it's so interwoven, isn't it? That's amazing. So it just goes to show you, regardless of what happens, when people think that, Mr. Right's never going to come along, it's all in the timing. It is all in the timing. No opportunities were missed. It was all exactly as it was meant to be.
And the oddest thing about this is neither I nor she were looking for anybody.
Yeah.
Because she had just gone through the stalker situation. I had just come out of a short relationship that didn't work out, and no, we were happy just being us.
Yeah.
And just from our first introduction of, yep, hi, nice meeting you. See you around.
Keep it brief. Yeah, keep it brief. That's it. Play hard to get.
Well, that was the thing, is we weren't playing anything. I mean, we weren't even there wasn't even an attraction. There's that saying, to have somebody at hello. Well, did we have each other at hello? Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. And Michelle, there goes to say, and this is important. This is what I tell people. Of course, I would say, is there love at first sight? I think there's attraction at first sight. And can it grow? Yes. Okay. However, when Brooke is an introvert. I'm some crazy, I don't know, talking out of my mind. Nobody half understands 3/4 of the time. So you have the person who is an extrovert saying, so what do you do? Well, what's the introvert going to say? This is what I do.
As little as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is not fair to say that there wasn't an attraction or whatever, because an extrovert's going to say, oh, hell no, there's nothing there. An introvert's going, oh, God, she scares me out of my mind. Who in the hell is this wild woman with these fake eyelashes?
And years later, I still ask
that. But it takes more than that to talk and grow and establish that relationship, because I do believe that a relationship is more than that first instant meeting. And that, to me, is what I tell people all the time. It's give it a minute. Just because you're the extrovert or the introvert and you can't talk or you talk too much give it that time, because had I not have met Brooke, I would have never been introduced to shamanism. I understood certain things about shamanism, but it was different. He was dealing with pure energy. I'm dealing with the personality of the energy. So there were a lot of talks that in the very beginning about this and things like that. But we've both grown in different ways because we were learning different things from one another.
Yeah. And can I just ask, Brooke, at the time when you met Alicia, firstly at the food truck with the short
Yep.
high and buy, hard to get scenario,
Yep.
did you know then that she was a medium or she was remotely spiritual or anything like that about her?
No.
Really?
Nope.
So when did that come out?
because our friend so that was another thing, was our mutual friend who owned the food truck. I mean, she was a good friend of Alicia's, and she had become a friend of mine from running the food truck and me playing pool and eating there. And she was a musician and sang her music to everybody, but she never told me what Alicia did as far as mediumship. So when I found out that she was a medium and was doing classes, instructing classes, it was like the part that was missing that I hadn't experienced yet, because I hadn't been around mediums. You know, I had been around energy work, I had been around paranormal work, but I had never been around mediumship.
Yeah, right. So how quickly was it after you met her that you found that out? Was it within a matter of weeks, or did you hold off Alicia and think, oh, I got to get to know, I got to pick my time?
Well, I think that that first time that because you said that you were doing a class and we had dinner and I didn't know what the class was. And then I had picked up something that she was serving the church, and okay, maybe she's a minister. You know, I didn't know. And being the introvert, I didn't ask. You know, if this is going to transpire, it's going to eventually come out. And when it did, it was like, oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
This is something I have not experienced yet.
Yeah. Wow. And so, Alicia, were you concerned what he might think, or you were like, nah, he'll be fine because he's a shaman, like, or a shaman, however some people say it. Were you like, oh, you know, he's not going to even bat an eyelid at it? Or did you sort of think, we'll see how this goes, like in telling him that you're a medium?
No, I just told him, because that is what was and still is a huge part of my life. And that would always be one of the first things I would tell anybody I was dating. I'm a medium. Oh, God, you can read my mind. Oh, God, I need to go away. Oh, Jesus, what am I thinking? And then they'd start playing songs like Witchy Woman. And I'm like, oh, God, no. Go, God, no. And so when I met him and I told him, I think that's, yeah, you're right, Brooke. That was definitely with the, when I was teaching the class. And he did actually,
because I went to a couple of your classes.
Yep. I was just going to say that he did come to a couple of them. And it was interesting. It was shortly after that. And I think I had a couple months after that, maybe not that long, when your grandmother came through, Brooke. That was shortly after we had been together when Grandma came through, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, because
I mean, because you had moved in, within 3 or 4 months, and then my grandmother started coming through, and you and her were just conversing every day.
And I'm like, we can't do this anymore. And I actually had to tell her, we need to stop. We need to stop, because it was becoming yes, she really liked my company. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. And I
So,
love how,
so
sorry, go on, Brooke.
so in me finding out that she was a medium was something that I needed to help me grow. And I think the biggest thing that I know that she had mentioned to me after a few months, maybe not even a few months, was I was so grounding. She was such a whirlwind in every direction and had no grounding whatsoever. And I have routine and everything is in place. And she's just constantly losing her keys and losing her shoes and losing. I said, there's a hook on the wall. Just hang your keys here. But I provided such a grounding and welcoming environment for her that for the first time in her life, she said, she actually could sit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because I think that, in fact, I had friends that were musicians, not just Michelle, but others. And they would always play the one song by Fleetwood Mac. I think it's Rhiannon, where, Taken by the Wind. And yeah, and they would play that every time I would come into town, and every time I would leave to go back to Phoenix. She's being taken by the wind, and that was very true. You never knew where I was going to be or where the wind was going to take me, so to speak. And Brooke came into my life, and everybody's like, "You're just going to stop now?" And I go, I went to Phoenix and I brought all my stuff back, and I'm like, yeah. And I just stayed, and I was grounded for a very long time, until really just the past couple years, because I needed the grounding, right, Brooke? I really did.
Yeah. Yeah, I do believe you did.
Yeah. It's nice to know that someone was able to tame the wildling. And but I guess in a sense, it probably would get old after a while, like many years of backwards and forwards, to finally have a place to call home, or have somewhere that's stability, some sort of security, like you say, some sort of grounding, a base where you can know that it's a safety net, and there's love in the home, and just again, like I say, some sort of stability, that where you belong. Because sometimes a lot of people never fully feel that they belong in one place or another. You know what I mean? It's a slingshot backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So,
and to know that I was going to be here when she came back, there was there's never been a question, I'm going to be here.
Yeah. Yes. That reliability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I love the fact that two different people from two different modalities have come together and can intertwine and intermesh, but also respect each other's energy, each other's work, and hold that support and nurture each other through the spiritual growth, but also through life, because life is tricky enough in itself without adding the spiritual aspect to it all. So, wow, that's amazing. So there's hope out there, people. There's hope. Always.
There is always. And I truly, and Michelle, I have to say, prior to this, okay, and so years before I met Brooke, I will never forget, everybody's saying, you need to manifest your man. What do you want? You need to write this down. And I swear to you, I've got it written down somewhere, but it was so ridiculous. Now, what I was looking for in a man, I don't know what kind. He has to speak 5 different languages. He has to do this. He has to do that. And I'm like, what the frick is he? A magician? I don't know. But I laugh so hard because if the universe would have granted me that man, oh my God, I would have had problems. There's that. No, I did not need that man at all. So I have to say, I got and received from the universe exactly what I needed to help me grow.
Yeah.
Period. And if you're coming up with this big whatever, people come up with, oh, this man is going to be just like me and do everything. And what, maybe. And if so, that's great. I'm happy for you. But why not focus on bringing in exactly what you need at this time, this lifetime, to help you grow?
Yeah. And sometimes it's that balance, isn't it? You balance each other out. And that's what seems to work. Like they say, opposites attract, but it's that fine balance of, like you say, Brooke, you're very grounded. Alicia, you're very whirlwind. So sometimes you need a balance of both, and it works. And you're able to basically do the tango together and synchronize beautifully.
Yep. And Michelle, the only reason I'm talking to you today on this podcast is because Brooke wrote it on the calendar, reminded me this morning, told me I shouldn't do too much on today because we were getting ready for this.
See, there you go. Still to this day, grounding you, helping you get organized, and leading the way. I love it.
Keeping a short leash.
God forbid she has a long one. She could end up anywhere. Anyway.
I know.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in today and sharing your story. It really is a beautiful love story and a very quick gathering of 2 souls that were meant to come together. The shortness of, oh, here we are looking at being friends. Oh, and here we are. Look, it's happening. It's a happening thing.
Yeah, well, just move in. Just move in.
Yeah. What's the problem?
Let's get over this. And I have to say, Michelle, when we got ready to do this podcast this evening, I actually had to look up. And when we first met at that food truck, it would have been this week time frame.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Isn't that the timing impeccable? I love that. Oh,
really
so hang on. So is that like 10 years? Would that be 10 years?
Yes.
A whole decade. Wow. Yeah. See, these are all the little signs. I love that. And again, you guys came to me with this and it was like, okay, let's see where we can fit this in. Boom, here. Let's do it now. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's
because
incredible.
I think your listeners need hope sometimes, when you're out there and you feel like you're going to be alone forever. No.
Yeah. No. That's it. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen. And in ways you least expect.
Right? At a food truck.
A food truck, yeah.
That's it. And again, like you said, you're both coming out of relationships, challenging situations that were happening for both of you. And that's
weren't looking. And just weren't looking.
Yeah. And next thing you know, stumble in a trip. Oh, look, here we are living together.
Well, I think she stumbled and tripped and I just caught her.
There you go. See?
She's the one that falls down. So
yeah.
All the time.
The knight in shining armor. Love it. I love it. Oh, that's just so beautiful, guys.
Never judge a skunk by its cover.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. And it's, I can understand the whole, skunk, what? That would be the first sign of, you know what? I don't think so. What sort of, anyway.
You.
Where are we going with this? Like what? Anyway.
Don't you have a real name?
Yeah, I know. Or is that what your mother called you? Because if she did, there's already major problems right there. Anyway. But that's what kept it real, and that's what kept it interesting, and the persistence and it's just everything. It's just a beautiful alignment, really, isn't it? It really is a beautiful alignment. And we can never foresee truly what the universe has for us in store, what's next. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen. So for the viewers and listeners, don't ever feel like you've missed the boat. Opportunities come and gone. That's it. That's the end. If it's meant to be, it will always come back around. And next time it'll slap you in the face, slap you silly, and you'll know for sure. So, yeah. All righty. Where can people find you? We'll start with you, Alicia.
Synchronicity Sweetheart or International Medium Alicia on Facebook.
Fabulous. Brooke, where can people find you?
The Shaman Trail at gmail.com.
Excellent. And I will put those links in the description below, along with all of your previous episodes. But this is the first one that you've come together with, like both of you together in the one interview. The rest are separate stories and your own journeys, which is incredibly interesting. You really need to go and watch, because this gives you a really great insight as to who these gorgeous people are and how they came to be who they are today. And now we have the full story of the coming together. So thank you very much.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And
I look forward to having you both back on the show very, very soon. To view the show notes, head over to themediumstable.com.au. If you want to watch these episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, The Medium's Table Podcast.